Hi, hello and welcome to the tutorial on functional interfaces and Lambda expressions, the second part of the video. So in this video we are going to do a lot more exercise on the so-called functional interfaces and how to write the Lambda expressions and all. So before going to that, let me show you. So this is the Oracle documentation. Of course, this is Java 8. So in this you can see there is a package by the name called java.util.function, where in this package you will find all the functional interfaces that are present in this particular package. Okay, so these are all the predefined functional interfaces. If at all you can use these interfaces, if you think you need your own, of course you can create, as we have explained in the previous tutorial. Okay, so today we'll see some of these functional interfaces and how we are going to work with them. Okay, so first I'm going to discuss about this functional interface which is called as consumer. So let us go to the documentation of this particular consumer interface. So so here you will be seeing something like a capital T in the so-called angular brackets, right? So T stands for the type. That means we are going to specify what type, that means whether it is whether it's an object, or whether it is an integer type, whether it is a double type, or whether it is a user defined type. So that is what the T is going to be. Okay, so as we have discussed in the previous tutorial, that functional interface will have, you must have one abstract interface. That means it must have one abstract method. Okay, so and also have said that there might be some default methods. Okay, so these are all the methods that exist in this so-called functional interface consumer. If you click on this abstract method, see, this is only the method that is present. I mean, this is the abstract method. So here clearly you can see the function accepts the T type as a parameter. So as I said, the T, you can fill out the T while writing the program, right? So you can decide what actually that capital T, the type. Okay, whether it's an object, integer, float, double, or user different type. So it's up to you. So it's up to you to fill that T. Okay, so now let us see how we can use this particular interface, functional interface, okay, and write the Lambda expressions and all. Okay, so here I have taken a class called tutorial. So before going to that, let me import the package java.util. I think there's a mistake in util.function. Okay, so this is the package I'm going to import right now. So let us make use of the consumer functional interface. So consumer, so here this is what how it, this is how it is defined, right, in the description, right? So public interface consumer T. So here we are going to fill out that particular T. What is that actual T? Okay, so now I am interested in making use of integers. So I'm going to take the integer. Make sure you use the wrapper class. Okay, so consumer integer, let us take its obj, okay, is equal to. So here we are going to make use of the Lambda expression, and we are going to write that particular method, the method so called apply, right? So here if you see the documentation, so this is the method. So if you see this method, it accepts a T type. Okay, so and it is not going to return me anything. Okay, so it is not going to return anything. It's just going to return me void. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, so obviously it is going to take one parameter, right? So I'm making it as x. Of course there is no need of mentioning the type of that particular parameter. So what I'm going to do is system.out.println. Okay, just I'm going to print that so-called x. So now what I'm going to do is int val is equal to, or else you can say integer. So it's up to you. Okay, so int val is equal to, I'm going to say a obj dot apply. Okay. Obj dot accept, sorry, it's the name of the function is accept, it's not apply, the name of the function is accept. So accept, so I'm going to give as 10. Okay, so of course wait a second, should not write like this because it is going to return a void, right? So obj dot accept of 10. So when I run this particular code, see, you're going to get the value 10, right? So this is how your code gets simplified, right? There is no need of writing the name of the function, just specify the parameter, just name it as x or y or z or whatever it might be. So it's up to you to name the variables, right? So so this lambda expression is only having a single statement, system.out.println. So whenever I call this accept method 10, so it is going to give me so-called it is going to just print me the value. Okay, suppose let us say if I write something like this, so now if I run, I'm going to get 90. So it's up to you to decide so how you're going to make use of that particular thing. Okay, so this is how you can use the consumer interface. Okay, so next let us make use of another functional interface from here. Let us take IntConsumer. Okay, so we'll see the difference. Okay, so IntConsumer, so what it is doing, so if you see the abstract methods, of course here you can see the name of the method is accept, and again it is going to it is not going to return me anything, so it is just going to return me the void. Okay, that means it is not going to return me anything. Okay, so just so IntConsumer. Okay, so here wait a second, there is no need of the angular brace, right? Because here in the name itself we are saying it is an IntConsumer, right? So obj2 is equal to, so again x system.out.println x star 10. Okay. So when I say obj2 dot accept, so you can also write like this also, integer of 3. So new integer, so obviously the auto boxing and unboxing happens. Okay, so now let us run this, see the value is 30. So it's up to your wish, but whereas if you use the consumer, you are having the flexibility of choosing the value, right? I mean, you can go for the string, you can go for double, you can go for whatever you want. But whereas here this is an IntConsumer, the name itself says it is an IntConsumer, and clearly you can see here in the parameter list it is clearly saying it wants only the int. But whereas in consumer, this is a generic declaration, right? That means capital T, here it is not specifying any type. That means whenever you use the consumer functional interface, you are free to choose whatever the type it is. But whenever you use the IntConsumer, then you can't choose other than integer. So that's what the difference between the IntConsumer and the consumer. Okay, so let us take the consumer again, consumer string, take obj3 is equal to x, or else let us take z, or also just for the, let us try it out different. Okay, so rather than taking the, I mean, rather than writing a single statement, obviously if you are having only a single statement in the lambda expression, you can ignore the curly braces. So if at all, if you have multiple statements, make use of the curly brace. Okay, so it's up to you. Yours is based on your requirement. So println, So obviously string, right? So what here I'm going to do is so I'm just going to print out this so-called z. Okay, so now I'm going to obj3 dot accept string key. So string I'm going to say hi. So now let me run this. See, you got the hi, right? So this is how you can make use of the consumer function interface and the int consumer interface. Okay, so and it's up to you on how to proceed and all. Suppose let us say if I want to process something, as clearly it is saying it is a string type, right? So this consumer is going to work on string types, right? So that obviously this z means it will be of the type string. Okay, so it is expecting a string. Okay, because we have replaced this t with so-called string. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to convert whatever the parameter, I mean whatever the value that I get, I'm going to convert into uppercase. So let us see now. So you're going to get hi, right? So this is how we can make use of the function interfaces. Okay, so suppose let us if you want to do some functionality here, you can write. Okay, so it's up to you. You are free to choose. Okay, so now let us go for another functional interface. Let us go for the predicate. Okay, so there's somewhere here itself. Yes, predicate. So this is also very useful. Okay, let us see where this predicate is used. Okay, so as it is a functional interface, so click on this abstract methods. Okay, so the name of the method is test, right? So and it is going to accept a t type. So the t type must be, it's up to you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make use of this predicate. So let us take integer. Okay, so here it's t, you are free to choose, but what you need to do is whenever you're going to write the lambda expression, make sure that lambda expression returns a boolean. So here you're going to return something. Okay, so for that sake, what I'm going to do is, so predicate integer obj4 is equal to, so I'm going to write like this. So take it as y. Okay, so here I'm going to write like this: if y is greater than 10, okay, return true, else false. So a simple statement, right? So suppose let us say here, if I just write like system dot out dot println, okay, obj4 dot, so the name of the method is test, right? Test. So I'm going to give the integer value as argument, so c3. So obviously if you run this, see, you're going to get the false, right? Because obviously y is not greater than 10, so it is going to return a false. Okay, so there is no need of even writing like this return whenever you're using a single statement. Okay, so obviously that value is going to be returned, but you need to be very careful, because here I have written system.out.println. so why I have written means this doesn't that means this is the function. If you observe this int consumer, so it is going to return a void, right? So that means here in this lambda function I have written only a single statement, that too it is a print statement. Okay, but whereas here I am returning something. Okay, so that's why obviously this statement, the result of this particular statement is going to be returned. Okay, so obj4 dot test3 means obviously it is going to return you the false. Suppose let us say if I say which is 10, so again it is going to return the false, because 10 is greater than 10 is obviously false. So if I write 11, so it is going to give me the true. Okay, so this is how you can make use of this function interfaces, and these are very useful when you are working on the collections. So imagine you are having a complete collection, uh, I mean, suppose let's say you are having an array list which holds integers and you want to filter out only a set of numbers which are even numbers. So in that case, you can use something like this. You can use this functional interface, the so-called predicate. So in order to make sure whether that value, I mean, whether to check whether it's even or not, or whether to check that particular value based on the condition or not, based on some condition. Just now how I have written, I mean, here the condition I have written is y greater than 10. Okay, so if the value is greater than 10, it is going to return the true, else it is going to return with the false. Okay, so this is how we can work on the functional interfaces. Just go through the documentation. You will be having a very number of functional interfaces which are ready to use. Suppose let us say if you are having your own requirement, yes, you can go, nobody is going to stop you. Make your own functional interface and do whatever you want. So that's all for now. Thank you.